Health Orthopedic Care. Every week, a different team will be featured across ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. The winning performance receives $500, courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Do you know a team, player, or school with a killer performance? Nominate them by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Go where the pros go.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Gotta be honest, man, as I was watching the Eagles march back against the Commanders last night, I couldn't help but feel bad for that fan base. I mean, poor Giants fans.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It's your boy Theo Dorsey. It is a football Friday here on Theoretically Speaking, ESPN 106.3. We are going to kick it all the way through until 4 o'clock, and then it's Russo and Rizzo, and then it's more football because, damn it, I love this time of the year. C-Cat's on the other side of the glass on the ones and the twos. C-Cat, hey, we're a couple days removed from our big-time trivia win at the house. Are we still riding that high?
Absolutely. I've decided about 5 seconds ago that today will be the best day of my life. Just made a decision.
Better be.
I control my own destiny.
That's right.
Today will be the best day of my life.
It will be. I absolutely love that. And as you continue to construct your reality and create the best day of your life, which, by the way, it's a very busy day. What game are you calling tonight for high school game day?
Atlantic's home playoff game against Mater Academy.
Yeah, I was about to say, watching the Atlantic Eagles play football, that'll feed into a good day.
Oh, yeah.
A good night of some football. As you construct the best day of your life, I can't help but and I can't believe I'm saying this as a guy that grew up in Houston, that lives now in South Florida, that has no direct connection to New Yorkers. And generally, if you're not from New York, you have like an antagonistic view of people from there because sometimes they can be a little pushy, a little aggressive, a little we're better than you because where we're from.
There's so many of them.
Yeah. So there's very few times that people not from New York have sympathy for New Yorkers. But as you create your reality, the best day of your life, I got to look over at the NFL and say the Giants fans, they're having the worst year of their life, the most miserable year watching football that they can probably dream up or think of. How in the world are you not even involved in a Thursday night football game, but somehow, though one of your division rivals loses to another division rival, you're the butt of the joke? New York Giants fans, not even involved. Yeah, your quarterback is Daniel Jones, and he won't be playing. It'll likely be Danny DeVito or what's his name that raps the songs on the sidelines? What's his name? Drew Lock. Yeah, it's going to be one of those guys,
or
right?
Danny DeVito after he leaves Jersey Mike's. He'll go over to the Giants.
Tommy DeVito, I'm sorry. I apologize to Danny DeVito. I apologize to Giants fans everywhere. Again, the butt of the joke. Giants fans. I don't say this lightly. I don't even say this as a way to pile on to what has already been a miserable year. But here it is. After the Eagles beat the Commanders 26-18 last night on Prime Video, Saquon Barkley is at the desk with the good folks doing a little post-game recap. He had 146 yards on the ground, 52 receiving. Right? A couple of touchdowns that the Eagles needed in that second half. They entered the fourth quarter downs 10-6 to the Commanders. It was looking like one of those nights where it's like, oh my God, are the Commanders going to really ink this thing out? And then Saquon Barkley once again was the difference maker between a Eagles W or an Eagles L. Last year, that's a loss. This year, it's a win because of Saquon Barkley. And just take a listen to how his post-game interview went with the fellas on the desk.
It feels amazing. It feels amazing. Last year it was, tough year for me mentally. Did a really good job of. They love the Cowboys.
I'm gonna talk to you for a second. I'm gonna let the crowd take this one. You guys listen at home. They are saying, "Thank you, Giants."
They were thanking. That's your division rival. That's your divisional rival, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not sure what the hierarchy of hate where that ranks in the NFC East between the Cowboys, Commanders, Eagles, and Giants. I do know out of all of the divisions in the NFL, maybe only one other one rivals that division when it comes to the amount of animosity between fan bases, and that might be the AFC North. Like, am I off base there?
NFC North might be up there. It's just because how the Bears have been so bad. It's taken a lot of the sting and a lot of the vitriol in that division. The Packers have owned it.
That's the thing.
Through now 2 quarterback tenures, and now it looks like Jordan Love is doing pretty good now. Lions, of course, on the surge.
For 3 decades, the NFC North has been, are the Packers contenders? Check that box. Yes. Okay, well, then that division's over with. The Bears have had a couple spike years here and there. The Lions have been irrelevant for the most of it, and the Vikings a couple spike year here and there. But when it comes to the NFC East and the NFC North in particular, I just, at least outside looking in, I see a lot of tense interactions and relationships between on social media and even in the stands. Like, you hear about fights breaking out in these stands and whatnot. Again, if you're a Giants fan, you're minding your business. I would hope if you're a Giants fan, you weren't even watching Thursday Night Football, because there was no outcome that would be pleasing to you. 0 outcomes for you. Yesterday, we talked about how this is the worst nightmare for Cowboys fans, because if the Commanders win, then you are locked in at the 3rd best team in the NFC East in perpetuity. Because Jaden Daniels his trajectory is going up. Dak Prescott is at the very least plateaued and going down from here on out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the vitriol in the NFC East is so evenly spread. Like, all 4 teams hate each other in an equal fashion. And in the AFC North, you go Steelers, Ravens, obviously the 2 big parents that hate one another.
Right.
And then there's the little brother mentality the Bengals and the Browns also feel. Yeah. But in the NFC East, the Cowboys have the brand recognition. The Cowboys have, the Giants have the most recent.
The Eagles have the most recent Super Bowl win. They all have Super Bowl titles to their name.
Yeah.
And they go back and forth. Like, there's runs for each team in that division, right? The Cowboys they ruled an era, but since then they've been the laughingstock of the NFL, and each of these teams have had a turn in the past 2 decades.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter. Whoever the top 2 teams in that division are, they're going to hate one another. And then when you're the Giants, you get kind of dirt thrown on you by every party available, even outside your division, because you deserve it.
And it's been bad for the Giants fans these past few years under Daniel Jones and Brian Daboll's tenure. But I do believe this is the most embarrassing, miserable, and just outright unenviable season I've watched any football fan base go through. Being a Giants fan this year has had to make you feel just outright sick to your stomach. And I don't care if it's high school football, college football, or the pros. There is no fan base that has suffered more in 2024 than the New York Giants. And it's not close. It's not up for debate. That was going to be the topic today, CCAT. I was going to ask y'all, which fan base has suffered the most ridicule? Which fan base has either had to watch the worst football or watch somebody from their team be successful in another unit and make a playoff push? Or maybe you're just like a Florida State Seminole fan and everything is bad. You're getting so heavily brutalized coming off of being one of the most talked about teams last year that you just are turning away at this point, which I won't out anybody. As a Miami Hurricane fan and as a friend of the person who told me this in confidence, I won't out anybody. But we personally know, CCAT, some Florida State fans who never miss a game, never miss a quarter, who this year have finally turned away from watching the Noles play. That's embarrassing. That is a decrepit year to go through. That has to feel bad for Seminoles fans. Giants fans feel worse.
Yeah, you said it on these airwaves time and time again, because it is so true that the opposite of love is not hate. Isn't it apathy?
Yeah.
Giants fans should feel apathetic about this season. Why would they invest anything into this year's Giants team? Why would they invest anything to watch the NFL? Like you just said, we watched 2 top teams in their division go at it last night. It wasn't a pretty game. It wasn't that exciting of a game, to be honest. I love Saquon Barkley.
It was weak.
But it was a pretty weak game compared to the hype that we were contributing the hype to.
Yeah.
But we're talking about how this is painful for the Giants.
Yeah.
If you go back.
Somehow they lost and they weren't even playing.
You want to hear a stat that won't just hurt Giants fans, but it'll hurt the New York metro area?
Oh, talk to me.
Talk about that New York metro area, not counting the Bills, of course. The quarterback with the most wins since the beginning of 2023. Who would you guess it to be?
Oh, no. It's Zach Wilson.
It sure is.
Oh.
Not even Aaron Rodgers.
Of course it's not Aaron Rodgers. Because one of the only wins I can remember Aaron Rodgers getting was the one where actually Zach Wilson came in and saved the day. opening last year's season.
Daniel Jones somehow not on that list. I know there's injury trouble there, but he has been downright devastating how he's turned out.
The injuries have only saved Daniel Jones for having more losses. Let's not act like the injuries have helped him stay off of the wins list. How many wins does Daniel Jones have since 2023, the start of the season? Do you have it in front of you? Or
don't have it in front of me. I believe it's 3.
Okay, because it's 2 this year and then probably just 1 from last year. The Giants are I feel bad for you. I've never found it in my heart to have any level of sympathy for a fan base, especially in the Big Apple, in New York. In New York. Like, y'all got all this stuff going for y'all, concrete jungle. Y'all are so New York-centric. It irks me to my core. I remember the first couple of weeks I had at my college, Hampton University, the HBCU, out there in the Tidewater, out there in the 757 in Virginia, the Commonwealth. And in my first few weeks on campus, as a fellow from Houston, Texas, didn't have a lot of experience around New Yorkers, the loudest, most obnoxious, most look at us, most, now we're doing our little dance thing and our stepping thing, and we want to talk loud and talk too fast. And all, them New York cats. Like, my freshman dorm, walk right in there, and the loudest people and the biggest group that stick together is any of them fellas from the New York. And then they want to talk about what borough they from, and they want to talk about the Giants and the Jets and the Yankees and the Knicks and all. Annoying. Y'all are annoying. And I know that New Yorkers agree that they're annoying, and they get that they're annoying. So take it from a Southerner right now. I feel bad for you Giants fans out there. Y'all have been the butt of the joke. Y'all have taken the brunt end of the stick, and I would advise you to stop watching football this year. Even if you can't even watch Giants games successfully because you already know they might not even get the number 1 pick in the draft because you know they're going to sneak a couple wins out because they're not going to competently tank like they likely should. You can't even watch a Thursday night football game that doesn't involve your team because they're making fun of you because the guy that you let walk publicly. So that's the other part of it is Saquon Barkley was the only saving grace for Giants fans. That was the solace. We have this electric running back. He's young. He's very energetic. He has a lot of charisma, and every now and then he'll have a big pop play. It'll be it's a nice highlight to watch. You got to root for that guy to get the ball, take it out of Daniel Jones's hands, make him do, that's fun. That was cool. He jumped over somebody backwards. That used to be yours.
Ownership agrees that he is the fan favorite.
And we watched you publicly. For the first time ever, Hard Knocks on HBO comes out with what they called, Hard Knocks offseason. We get to go behind the curtain on how front offices work. I absolutely love Hard Knocks offseason. I'm going to be one to be locked in on this every single time. We watch General Manager Joe Shane and Brian Daboll and Jim Mara and everybody, all the decision makers with the Giants, go through an offseason. The biggest tipping point of their offseason was the 2 major free agents they let walk out the door. The number 1 guy, the owner said, let's take a listen. Let's go back to that video because the owner of your franchise admits not only is Saquon Barkley invaluable, we cannot measure how great and how much he means to this franchise as a player. He took it a step further. Take a listen to this back from Hard Knocks.
I have a tough time sleeping if Saquon goes to Philadelphia, I'll tell you that. As I've told you, just being out. I've been around enough players and stuff, but he's the most popular player we have by far.
Yeah. He said he's going to have I'm going to have nightmares. I'm going to have a tough time sleeping. Not going to be able to get rest. I'll be restless nights if we let Saquon Barkley walk away. And Joe Shane played hardball. They tried to paint Saquon in a bad light, which Saquon Barkley has now cleared up in the air, and I'm glad he was able to do so. $37 million. I think a 3-4 year contract. He's with your divisional rivals, the Eagles, and they are now 8-2. 8-2 en route to a Super Bowl appearance, or at least a contender in the NFC. And CCAT, have you taken a look at who leads the league in rushing this year right now?
I haven't checked after last night.
Saquon Barkley.
Damn right.
Saquon Barkley with over 1,100 yards on the ground leads the NFL in rushing yards. So ahead of Derrick Henry, that might change this weekend as the Ravens play the Steelers on Sunday at 1. We'll see. What we know right now, Saquon Barkley through 10 games with the Eagles, he leads the league in rushing yards. But then I got curious because remember, C-Cat, I said there were 2 free agents the Giants let walk this season that were, highlights of their organization, players that they considered retaining but thought maybe they're not as valuable to us as what they're demanding on the open market. Do you remember who that other guy was?
I do not.
Safety, Xavier McKinney. And people don't think about safeties that often these days, and nor should you. I'm not saying that you should be locked in on what's going on with Xavier McKinney. But then I went to NFL.com, click this little cool button they have. It says stats, NFL.com stats. Boom, hit that. Individual leaders. And I literally wasn't even trying to pile on the Giants at this point. I was looking for the rushing yards leaders. And I said, oh, that's really neat. Saquon Barkley leads the league in rushing. Well, he's had an extra game. Then I looked over at the defensive leaders for interceptions. C-Cat, do you want to know who the leader in interceptions right now as we stand in Week 11 of the NFL is today?
Throwing up the X for Xavier McKinney.
Xavier McKinney leads the league in interceptions with 6. He's tied with a couple other guys, but he leads the league in interceptions with 6. In fact, Xavier McKinney, who the Giants decided we don't need to pay him this year. We can move on without him. We can have a successful defense without the likes of Xavier McKinney, who, by the way, was good with the Giants. That's why he demanded so much on the open market to go to the Green Bay Packers. Xavier McKinney has forced 7 turnovers this year, 6 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery. He's played in 9 games. Through 9 games, he's forced 7 turnovers. You want to know how many turnovers, how many takeaways this Giants defense has created this year, C-Cat?
All right, I'm going to guess 3.
Not 3. More than that, but only 1 more than Xavier McKinney. Your entire defense, the New York Giants, and this is all they have right now, right? Because on offense, you got Malik Neighbors and Daniel Jones, and you can't name another guy. That's just what it is. On defense, you went out and got Brian Burns. You got your big guy in the middle in Dexter Lawrence. You had a serviceable Thibodeau, your D-line is amazing. That should create opportunities for takeaways because you're rushing quarterbacks. You're getting sack fumbles. You're putting more pressure on the quarterbacks to get the ball out, and maybe your ball hawks can get to it. The Giants have created 8 takeaways this year. Xavier McKinney, who you let walk out the door for nothing, has created 7 on his own for, again, a contending Green Bay Packers team. And if you're a Giants fan and you have to watch that happen for the Packers, watch that happen with Saquon Barkley for the Eagles, and then your saving grace on a Sunday is you get to roll out of bed early in the morning. Oh, this is nice, C-Cat. The Giants are playing in Germany. The NFL thought enough of us to send us to show their marketable product in Germany. It was Germany, right? Am I tripping?
Yeah, Munich.
Munich, yeah. And our gift as Giants fans, yeah, we get to go to Germany. We don't have to play the big bad Falcons or even the Jaguars. We get to play the Carolina Panthers. I'm waking up early for this one. I'm going to set my alarm clock early for this one because I get to watch us finally play a team that we're better than. We took one of their best players last year in Brian Burns. Revenge game. Bryce Young has been a shell of himself. He can't figure things out. This is perfect. If you're a Giants fan, that was a perfect way to wake up on Week 10. They lost that game, 20-17. Bryce Young had a bounce back game. People were like, oh, those are the flashes we expected from the number 1 overall pick from a year ago. It must suck to be a Giants fan. And I don't even think about Giants fans often, but that has been the most miserable fan base in football, maybe in sports this year. Imagine being a crossover Giants and Yankees fan right now, too. You get to the World Series, you lose that, you turn to football, and they're letting you down.
No, you can't compare the two.
I'm not saying that I'm not correlating the two. Obviously, the Giants have been way worse. Not trying to pile on any Yankees. I'm just saying
they're getting it from both ends.
Exactly.
You're good enough to hope you win a championship and not, and then you are not even given a glimmer of hope.
No.
Both types of pain.
It's just like you have nothing to look forward to. You're nothing. There's 0 things. And I was talking to somebody, one of my good friends here. Well, not good friends. I don't want to overstate it, but Andy Cagnetta with Transworld Business Advisors. We do some stuff with him. He was talking about how college football isn't that big in the Northeast because historically there haven't been any powers out there, so they lean heavier on pro football. Because I asked him the question, which one can you not live without? NFL or college football. He said it's got to be the NFL because historically, being a New Yorker, like that's what we have. Syracuse isn't, making waves. Boston College, maybe. Penn State's the closest thing you got.
Like Rutgers.
Rutgers ain't doing nothing. So likely if you're a Giants fan and you're from that area, like maybe you're a Penn State fan. Maybe you're looking forward to that. But then again, you as a Penn State alumnus and as a fan of Penn State, you're like the Nittany Lions ain't going to give you no hope down the stretch. This is ugly. You said it. You said it.
Overstretching a little bit here. One thing I do want to poke a hole in, it's not like Saquon Barkley was separating the Giants from a playoff berth. I don't think if they re-sign him, the Giants are in a much better position than they are.
Yeah.
Sure, the jersey sales would still come on the checkbook.
Yeah.
But the Eagles were a elite running back away from taking their good team and making it a great team. I think the Giants are an elite running back away from taking their league worst team and making it a disappointing team.
That's true, too. So let's just say this. Let's say they did retain Saquon Barkley. They did retain Xavier McKinney. They're likely a 4-win team instead of a 2-win team right now. And maybe that tricks you into having another year where you have to maybe lean into Daniel Jones again, or maybe you don't make the requisite changes next season because you were too good. You get too high of a draft pick, right?
It's almost like an ass backwards situation where it's like, well, we can't waste Saquon's prime years. Don't you normally hear that about a quarterback you got to build around?
The problem, though, is, C-Cat, you watch Saquon Barkley walk to a divisional rival, and now you're about to watch him walk into the NFC Championship game. That's what's about to happen. That's what I saw out of the Eagles last night. Jalen Hurts wasn't that great. He also, we'll take a listen to this on the other side, but I think he might have been suffering from a concussion throughout that game, and I don't know how they let him back onto the field to play. But you're going to watch Saquon Barkley lead your divisional rival. And I don't know, Giants fans, maybe you can call in and help us out with this. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Giants fans, which team in the NFC East do y'all hate the most? I don't know. I'm not that close with too many Giants fans. I would assume the Eagles are up there. I couldn't imagine it being the Commanders.
It's not the Commanders. It's either the Cowboys
I think
or
everybody
the Eagles.
hates the Cowboys so much.
Right, so I guess that makes that hate a little bit less special.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we're talking about Philadelphia here. They're not too much the bell of the ball when it comes to opposing fan bases.
Yeah. I want to assume that Giants fans hate Eagles fans the most. I would have to assume the Giants fans hate the Eagles organization the most. They have the most recent Super Bowl. They have the annoying head coach. They also have the quarterback that there's a lot of varying opinions on Jalen Hurts. Like people sweep the rug out from under him a lot, whether he does well or perform poorly like he did last night. The tush push is annoying as hell. Imagine having to face the tush push twice a year.
That is annoying. Growing up in New York when the Eagles were not as up as the Cowboys were with Tony Romo, the vitriol went the Cowboys' direction. I think of a couple of Sunday night football games where it was always Giants versus Cowboys. But in the past, 10 years, they've kind of dominated that rivalry to where, you know what, I guess the vitriol goes heavier to the Philly fans.
I would say the Eagles fans are the most hated within that division. They're the most hated team because of who their head coach is, because of how they've been contending for the past 5 to 7 years, and also that damn tush push.
It's annoying.
That is it sucks going up against that thing. It is terrible.
That prevented Saquon from having a third touchdown.
I know that too. Well, I guess Giants fans might be happy about that. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Which football fan base has suffered the most in 2024? High school, college, or the pros? Which football fan base has suffered the most in 2024? No, you can't be like Lamar Jackson and bring up a youth team. College or the pros, not even high school. Which football fan base has suffered the most? 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline here on Theoretically Speaking on this Football Friday. Football Friday on Theoretically Speaking. 888-760-3776. That's the Baptist Health Hotline. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County right on through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Most miserable football fan base this season, specifically this season. I don't want to hear about an entire decade. I don't want to hear about the past 5 years. This year, which football fan base has suffered the most? And it is clearly the New York Giants, and it showed its ugly head last night when, again, we could be making fun of Commanders fans right now because that team is 7-4, sure. But all 7 of those wins, none of them came over teams that are over 500 right now. Little bit flaw right there. People are calling them a little fraud. They're on fraud alert.
They beat the Cardinals when they were below 500, so that's the best win they've got. They've now have eclipsed 500.
Right.
But yeah, I want to see the Commanders to beat a good team. And you know what, Theo, I know how you love your comparisons to the commander-in-chief of the NFL when it comes to quarterbacks and Patrick Mahomes. Early in Pat Mahomes' career, he would always light up the scoreboard. They wouldn't win those games against good teams. In that ultimate classic Monday Night Football game against the Rams where both teams scored over 50 points, they lost that game to Jared Goff's Rams. They lost those games against the Patriots. So
I don't know, though. I don't know. And I appreciate you trying to add some solace to the Commanders fans. Patrick Mahomes' first year starting in the NFL, he made it to the AFC Championship game. Like what are we talking about? The loss against the Patriots in that AFC Championship game, it was because Dee Ford was offsides. Patrick Mahomes wasn't out there losing to good teams. He was actually winning at a high rate early on in the years that he started, and he's continued that. So I would say that might be closer to what Lamar Jackson has shown because they lost to good teams sometimes in the regular season, definitely in the playoffs. But I don't know if I would go. Look, Mike Tomlin told us earlier this week, and maybe we should get the Mike Tomlin sound out, where he told us, hey, be careful comparing people to Lamar Jackson. You be careful comparing people to Patrick Mahomes, CK. I didn't think I'd have to tell you that.
Listen, we're talking about young quarterbacks who take the league by storm, and one of which happens to be Jaden Daniels this year. And this is what Mike Tomlin had to say when comparing quarterbacks to Lamar Jackson, as you referenced.
Be real slow comparing people to Lamar Jackson. That's a multi-time MVP. That's Mr. Jackson. We'll see Mr. Jackson in a few days.
Have some respect. That's Mr. Jack. That's Mr. Mahomes. It doesn't hit as hard. It doesn't hit as hard.
Now, Mr. Mahomes, since Pat Mahomes' dad played professional sports, he's still Mr. Mahomes.
Is he?
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Yeah, if you go up to a Chiefs game, hey, that's Mr. Mahomes, I'm not expecting you to be pointing at Patrick Mahomes. I'm expecting you to point at Patrick Mahomes' dad.
That's because nobody talks like that. So that's why. If I walked up to a Ravens game and say, hey, that's Mr. Jackson, you wouldn't think Lamar was behind you.
That's true. Mr. Jackson, if you said, hey, that's Mr. Jackson, I would think you had Randy Jackson from American Idol behind me. That's
the first Mr. Jackson?
Yeah.
I would think Joe Jackson. Who's Mr. Jackson? Who's Mr. Jackson to you?
Miss Jackson is what, that song?
Yeah.
Sorry, Miss Jackson?
Sorry, Miss Jackson. Yeah. That's Miss Jackson would have been, I believe Andre was talking about, was he talking about Janice? Yeah, he was talking about Miss Jackson, maybe. I don't know. I forgot. I used to know this, actually, and I forgot. Who do we have here on the line?
We got Chris from Palm Beach joining us live.
Chris, you're from Palm Beach. You're here on Theoretically Speaking. Do you agree with me? The Giants fans are the most miserable, the ones that have suffered the most this football season?
I wish I could say yes, but I do agree with you. But being a longtime Dolphin fan, I got to disagree, considering that we started our season well below expectations. And not only that, based on the fact of what Kansas City has left on their schedule, we could lose. The only thing we have left to hold on to as Dolphin fans. Now, don't get me wrong, being a football fan, it would be great watching Kansas City not only make a three-peat, but possibly go undefeated on the way.
Oh, wow. That is a great call, Chris. So you're saying if the Chiefs cruise onto an undefeated season, losing that at the same time as you losing hope for the current iteration for the Dolphins, that will be worse than what the Giants are going through. I might have to agree, Chris. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
But it's going to be history if Kansas City can do it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Chris, I appreciate the call. That was a great – and I considered Dolphins fans today, but I also was like, well, their expectations weren't that high. And, yes, this has been bad, but you kind of been through it before. It's not as publicly embarrassing. That is a deep cut, a good call.
Yeah, that's levels of disappointment because if you are a Miami Dolphins fan, it's either a Marino thing from the family.
Yeah.
You're from South Florida, or it's an undefeated team passed down.
Yeah.
That's why you're a fan of that team from back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way through until 2024. Oftentimes, that's a core reason. And if that's taken away from you,
Yikes.
you are no longer the franchise that had an undefeated season. That's tough.
People would stop talking about that Dolphins season if the Chiefs did it this year specifically, because it also would come on the back of a three-peat. Three-peat with a 20-0, like, I don't even care about the 70s.
It completely one-ups and trumps anything that Dolphins team did.
Ooh, that is tough. On the other side, we are going to soon we're going to get to who missed the cut. Todd Fleming, CEO of the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beach, is pulling up on us on a Football Friday, so that's going to be a good time. We also do need to get specifically into there's one franchise right now in the NFL that is crying for help publicly, and I'm going to be the one to give them some assistance. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Shop Dell Technologies' Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers they serve in the South Florida community. See how at PNC.com. You're listening to ESPN 106.3.
Thank you for calling the ESPN 106.3 fan poll. Today's question: would you like to hear a new show weekdays at 4 p.m.? Press 1 for yes, 2 for no. You press 1 for yes. Tune into ESPN 106.3 for Russo and Rizzo weekdays at 4. Thank you. Goodbye.
Join Yingling and ESPN West Palm this Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. at Tin Roof Del Rey for Miami and Vegas and the highly anticipated Buffalo versus Kansas City matchup. Enjoy Yingling specials, and the ESPN West Palm Street team will be on hand with tailgating games, prizes, and Yingling swag. It's Yingling and ESPN this Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. for 2 games at Tin Roof Del Rey, 8 East Atlantic Avenue. Must be 21 plus. Presented by Yingling, America's oldest brewery. Please drink responsibly.
Make poker playing hours work for you at Harris Pompano Beach with the $1 million Break the Bank. It's a no-limit hold'em event that could make you a millionaire. Play at any qualifying table. Rack up 150 hours to qualify for the January 29th Break the Bank tournament. $250,000 in prizes to be awarded, plus win a seat at the World Series of Poker Circuit main event. Finish at number 1 for your shot to win $1 million. Play poker today at Harris Pompano Beach. Open 24 hours, 7 days a week. Powerline Road at 3rd Street, Pompano Beach. Must be 18 or older for poker games on pass. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
This is ESPN 106.3, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Find official rules for all your favorite ESPN West Palm contests by visiting ESPNWestPalmContests.com. That's ESPNWestPalmContests.com. You're listening to ESPN 106.3, the ESPN app, and streaming on your smart speaker.
Your home for the Miami Dolphins in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast is ESPN 106.3.
It's time to put your fins up.
Don't miss a second of the action as Tyreek and company look to conquer the toughest division in football.
You're listening to ESPN West Palm's coverage of the Miami Dolphins.
Home or away, Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. Regular season or postseason, the Miami Dolphins play right here on ESPN 106.3.
Presented by South Florida Ford, the Breakers Palm Beach, and PNC Bank.
Hey, golf fans, Colin Russo here. Looking to improve your game? Flagstick Golf Performance, the ultimate indoor golf experience, is now open in Boynton Beach. With 3 indoor simulators and a state-of-the-art putting studio, Flagstick helps players at all levels up their game. Get lessons from experts, try the latest clubs, or just come up for a round in the simulators. You can track your stats and see real improvement. Flagstick is where serious golfers and beginners find their edge. Bring your friends or family and enjoy golf like never before. Visit flagstickgolfperformance.com to book your session.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
I don't know, man. It's embarrassing these days for Giants fans. Yes, it is decrepit for for Dolphins fans as well. And that was a Freudian slip because we're about to point our finger towards those New York Jets. Before we do, I got to tell you about a place where... Actually, you know what? I don't want to tell you about EDS right now. I want to give you the EDS coolest moment of the week later on, so I'm going to save that. Before we get to that, though, C-Cat, are you confident right now in what the Jets' near future looks like, the New York Jets?
Confident what I know it's going to look like. I'm not confident that it's going to be good.
I'm not confident it's going to be good either. So, as a person that frequents this daily sports fantasy app, Prize Picks, going forward, I know they're 3-7. They have a really bad outlook. Going forward, I'll be hitting less on a lot more of their player projections when it comes to Aaron Rodgers passing yards, when it comes to Breece Hall rushing yards, when it comes to, Braylon Allen hasn't popped since like week 2. They should probably tote the rock with the 20-year-old. He's really good. But Prize Picks, the benefit of Prize Picks is you can hit more or less. If you're favorable on a team, you hit more on that player projection. If you think less of them, you hit less. And with as little as 4 correct picks, you can now win up to 100 times your money. Get Prize Picks wherever you get your apps. Go to the App Store, download Prize Picks right now. We've got a weekend full of football. Basketball's going on, hockey's going on. Anything that you think you have an edge on, use that edge in your favor right here. Promo code THEOD. That gets you $50 of promo dollars to play for free once you play a $5 lineup. C-Cat, you've done it. Tina did it just yesterday. Everybody's in on Prize Picks right now. It's a great way to get going. They've got Taco Tuesday on Tuesdays where you can get in on a couple player projections that give you a big payout. There's also discounts to certain player projections up to 25% in your lineups. Prize Picks. Prize Picks, run your game and use promo code THEOD to get that $50 for free when you actually play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. C-Cat, the Jets are a dumpster fire. I want to say it publicly here on Theoretically Speaking that I will curtail Jets talk going forward. I will try to limit the amount of times we actually shine a light on what's to come with that Jets organization as they try to figure things out because we have gone too far. We have done too many segments on them, but they provide such good, tasty content.
Yeah, take your beating and be quiet, but they keep on dusting themselves off like with the Captain America and the Captain America movie, except they're not the protagonist.
Remember when Aaron Rodgers was with the Packers on the latter end of it, and he kept hinting at retirement because that's what he inherited. That's what he inherited from Brett Favre. I hope he didn't inherit other traits and qualities and habits from Brett Favre. But that's what he inherited from Brett Favre from his time with the Packers was when you get near the end, you hint at retirement. You hang that over the franchise's head. I don't get how that helps. Not sure how that creates unity in the locker room or any certainty for the franchise or the fans, but you flirt with the idea of not coming back. With how bad the Jets season has been this year and how they have folded to the will of Aaron Rodgers at every turn, now the questions of are you going to be back for next year have started to arise again. Take a listen. When questioned about his future with the Jets, here's Aaron Rodgers with an uncertain answer.
You've talked about wanting to play beyond this year before. Has the way this season gone for you or as a team changed that thought at all?
Not really. Not for the negative, no. Not really.
Do you still want to play in 2025?
I think so, yeah.
I think so, yeah. Aaron Rodgers is he's not all the way bought in. He wasn't bought in this offseason. when he took time away from camp to go to Egypt. To each his own. Right? If he does that and the Jets are 7-3 today, then we're like, it doesn't matter. Remember, that was the whole rhetoric in all the morning talk shows and stuff. Oh, y'all are making a big deal about OTAs and training camp. That's Aaron freaking Rodgers, future Hall of Famer, 4-time MVPs. He don't need no damn practice. And then he gets out there with his team and there's communication issues with his receivers, so they don't have a good enough connection to move the ball in a productive way. And then they're losing big games on behalf of Aaron Rodgers, who's throwing interceptions in pivotal moments. And then he's pointing the finger at Mike Williams on a deep ball that he missed him on, throwing him under the bus, taking no accountability, whereas like, hey, if you worked with that guy more during the offseason, during practice, maybe y'all would have had that connection. Maybe you wouldn't have had to trade him to a team who, I don't know, when the game was on the line for the Steelers, Russell Wilson threw a touchdown to that dude. So here we are, 3-7. Aaron Rodgers uncertain on if he's coming back.
Yeah, I don't like the lack of clarity. Like, you want a yes or no answer, and if the answer is no, I guess, can you say it right now?
That's the thing.
He wants the unknown. He wants people to ask him that question because he certainly likes the attention. He posted the one last dance picture with Devontae Adams in Green Bay for a reason.
Yeah.
He likes people feeling that he might be gone, so they appreciate him more while he's still there. He likes that, certainly so. So the ambiguity, is that the word?
Yeah, ambiguity.
Ambiguity.
Yeah, ambiguity. Yeah.
He's ambiguous.
He is ambiguous.
He likes the ambiguous nature of his future, even though the Packers' future after Aaron Rodgers looked a lot bleaker when we were at that moment. We didn't know what we had with Jordan Love.
Right.
With the Jets, we don't know who we have with insert
Travis.
Quarterback here. Yeah, Jordan Travis. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, we don't know, though. We still don't know what we have. We haven't seen him.
But all I'm saying is,
wasn't a good prospect coming out.
If you're a Jets fan, I think you are almost more optimistic about the next 5 to 10 years if in 2025 you start from scratch, blank canvas. The experiment did not work with this Rodgers infiltration, getting his guys in the building. It didn't work. We can admit that. Let's start something with Jordan Travis or even draft another quarterback. I think you're happier doing that right now than running it back. Because you can run it back when you're a playoff team. You can't run it back when you miss playoffs by a wide margin.
I want to ask Jets fans this today. Jets fans, if you're still listening, because if I was you, I would tune out. I would turn off any program that started any kind of semblance of Jets talk because I'm sure you're tired of it. It's rarely positive. Jets fans out there, I know you're here in Palm Beach County in the Treasure Coast. I know you're watching us on our YouTube stream or through your smart speaker. Tell it to play ESPN 106.3. Would you prefer Aaron Rodgers to be your quarterback next year or for him to retire and not be in that locker room, not be hovering over your franchise, getting his lackeys jobs and racking up three wins next season for your New York Jets? 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. We know next year you'll likely have a new head football coach. You'll likely have a new offensive coordinator. Hell, you might have a new general manager. And if Donald Trump appoints Woody Johnson, owner of the Jets, to his team again as an advisor, I believe last time he was like an ambassador or something like that. If he steals your owner away and Woody Johnson again, hell, you might have a new owner as well. Next year is going to look totally new. You remember that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
no.
Woody in 2016 when Trump was elected as president, Woody Johnson was like the ambassador. I would have to look it up. Ambassador to like England or something. I don't know. Something random. I guess he has expertise with the UK. So that might happen again. They're still waiting to see if he's going to be appointed to a position with Trump's with Trump's team as he gets inaugurated in January. We'll see. That's a wait and see, right? So we don't know if you'll have a new owner. We don't know if Aaron Rodgers will be back. He didn't give you a definitive answer. We know you'll have a new head coach, likely a new play caller, and there's a good chance you have a new general manager as well. So much uncertainty going forward with the New York Jets. There's one thing that you can say you should at least have some confidence in is who's going to be your quarterback next year. Aaron Rodgers is under contract next season. He can retire. It will cost against your cap. If you cut him, it will cost against your cap a little bit, but who cares about that? Because sometimes it's better to free yourself from this hovering presence that has not been beneficial to your team when it comes to the headlines that are coming out, when it comes to the chemistry, the progression of players in your team or in your locker room, or the wins. You had more wins with Zach Wilson. You were better with Zach Wilson. Jets fans, do you want Aaron Rodgers back next year? 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. CCAT, I'll answer for them, and I'll tell them you don't. You shouldn't. You really shouldn't. What would be the benefit of bringing back a year older Aaron Rodgers to a team that has seemingly regressed between last year and this year? And which competent head coach is signing up for that experience? Who the hell would want to coach the Jets next year if Aaron Rodgers is back?
Yeah, it's time to clean house and start from scratch, which is damaging to hear because that's all you've heard as a Jets fan for quite some time now, since maybe the Favre years. To loop it all together, since the New York Jets Favre years.
He wants to be Brett Favre so bad. Like, geez, come up for air. All right, Brett Favre did his thing. Do your own thing. And if you're going to do it, at least do it better. Do it well.
So the Jets really should want to. Jets fans should want their team to start anew. And like I said, clean house, if that means the owner down, sure, I'll sign up for that too.
Yeah.
But that certainly means from front office to coach to quarterback.
Yeah, I need to see a new look Jets next year. I'm not. Again, the NFL knew it. The schedule makers knew it this year. They front-loaded all their primetime games, so now we don't have to flex them out of the primetime games late in the season like we did last year. They saw it coming. The Jets were not going to be as good as we anticipated in the offseason. Year 2 of Aaron Rodgers was somehow more disappointing than year 1. Somehow only playing 4 snaps was better than when he's played. He hasn't gotten hurt at all. He's played the entirety of their 10 games. They're 3-7. They're out of the playoff race. And again, they shouldn't want him back. And maybe that's why he's ambiguous with his answers, because he probably knows his presence is no longer warranted. He's no longer a guy that fans are cherishing or rooting for or begging to stay around or come to their franchise. Now they're counting the days that until Aaron Rodgers leaves. I'm thinking of recent quarterbacks and the way that we've watched them go out. Thinking about Tom Brady, thinking about Peyton Manning, who nobody's had a better end to their career. I mean, not stats-wise, but at least going out with a Super Bowl like that. Drew Brees, like Phillip Rivers, he had the stint with the Colts. That was actually solid. I don't think of the quarterbacks that have defined this era of football post 2000. He's had the most sour exit from the league. He's done the most damage to his legacy of any. Like, can you think of another Carson Palmer, Kurt Warner? There's not a quarterback I can think of that has had a worse ending to their career. That's probably why he wants to come back next year. But it's funny because now the Jets probably don't even want him back.
It'd be like a dishonorable discharge from the NFL if Aaron Rodgers is not the starting quarterback from the Jets. Like, no, we want you out of here.
If they cut Aaron Rodgers, he can't be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
You don't mean that.
I'm not saying he shouldn't be. His resume is that of a first ballot Hall of Famer, yes. If he gets cut from the New York Jets, we got to revoke that privilege. There has to be some consequence for that based on what he's done to that franchise in that market for 2 years. And he's going to count against the cap against them for the next couple of years if it happens. Again, I have no say in the matter. It's not like I'm out there and Ken getting elected. I'm just saying he's done way worse. We thought Russell Wilson was going to have a dishonorable discharge from the NFL, and look at how he's been revived. He might actually win a playoff game or two this year.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it's been ugly.
Geno Smith is
seriously. Who saw that coming? Hey, you know what? While we're going, 3 weeks ago, Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco had a run. Hey, you can count what Joe Flacco did last year as a successful campaign. This year, obviously, it was a little weird and sticky with the Colts. Aaron Rodgers, he has really done some damage to his legacy, man. I'm sorry. He did it in the biggest market. So there should be a price to be paid for that. And the Jets, they should be bold enough to cut that man because he's been cutting y'all, slicing y'all up for the past couple of years, and more so cutting away at the hopes and the optimism and the dreams of Jets fans, which I feel bad for them too. Again, I feel bad for the Giants, yes, the Jets fans as well, because even when you talk to Jets fans coming into this year, they kind of saw it coming. They did. You thought Jets fans that they're going to Jets it up?
Yeah. That was kind of the verb used that we saw. Chris Canty, who's not a Jets fan, he's more of a Giants guy, of course, because of his time there with Big Blue. He saw it coming.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes you don't need too much logic behind it, but history tends to repeat itself when it's within the same organization.
Clippers.
And I thought, honestly, to a certain extent, that the Jets would be formidable this year. They would be respected. You thought they'd win the division this year because every sign pointed towards that. The only box they didn't check to last year's 7-win team was a quarterback.
Yeah.
They brought in a future Hall of Famer. Why wouldn't they be a division-winning team? But they're the Jets.
And the Dolphins were down, and the Bills had retooled their whole route. The door was open. It wasn't even like we didn't put Aaron Rodgers in this disadvantageous situation. We said, hey, Aaron Rodgers, what would you like to happen? What would you like to have? Oh, you want this? We'll give it to you. You want that? We'll make sure that's at your door waiting on you. And, I mean, look at the results. I mean, that's, again, if they cut him next year, we got to take away that right. He can't be a first ballot Hall of Famer going down like that. Uh-oh. Trivia time here on Theoretically Speaking. What you got, C-Cat?
Yeah, I kind of sprung this one on you because right now I am looking at a list of the fewest passing touchdowns by a quarterback to start each of their team's first 10 games since 2020.
Wow. Okay, fewest passing touchdowns for a quarterback to throw on each of their team's first 10 starts. Okay.
Daniel Jones dominates this list.
Of course.
There's no question about it.
Like 3?
Out of the top 6, he's got 4 of those seasons since 2020.
Oh.
All but 2023.
He's only played. Yeah,
he didn't play enough games in 2023 to make this list.
Oh, my God.
But he's not number 1. He has not had the fewest passing touchdowns by a quarterback to start each of his team's first 10 games since 2020. It's been a different quarterback, not Daniel Jones.
I think I know which one.
We'll get the answer.
Okay, I'll give the answer on the other side. The quarterback that has started their first 10 games and has thrown the fewest amount of touchdowns. Before we go to the break, I'll answer that on the other side. That's a good one. I love that one. I want to tell you all about Duffy's Sports Grill. Duffy'sMVP.com. Jump online. Check out the menu right now. Duffy'sMVP.com. Because if you're watching any sports, basketball, football, hockey, anything that's just fancying you right now, whether it's Saturdays, Sundays, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Duffy's Sports Grill is the place to go, right? They got the food, the eats are always A1. You know that much, from the starters to the entrees, think about this, the amazing mozzarella sticks as an appetizer, as a starter, and then you step your way up to jumbo wings or award-winning burgers. You can't lose. But then also 80 or more televisions in every single Duffy's location, as well as 2-for-1 drinks. All day, every day. You don't have to wait on happy hour. You don't have to ask the waiter or waitress what time it is. 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day at Duffy's Sports Grill. Duffy'sMVP.com. At Duffy's, our game is always on. One more time with a trivia question, and we go to break here, C-Cat.
Since 2020, who is the quarterback that has had the fewest passing touchdowns in each of their team's first 10 games? They had to start all 10 games. Which quarterback has thrown the least amount of passing touchdowns since 2020?
We'll answer that on the other side. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hurricane fans, the final game of the season is here. Join us on November 23rd at Hard Rock Stadium as the Hurricanes take on the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. It's Senior Day, a day to honor the incredible players who have given their all to the U. Let's give them a send-off they'll never forget and fill the stadium with Hurricanes pride. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today by visiting MiamiHurricanes.com or by calling 1-800-GO-CANES.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen. If it's a slam dunk or a game-winning drive, it happens on ESPN 106.3. Next, college football kicks off with prime time. It's Utah and Colorado. Pre-game starts at 11:30. Tell a friend. The game's right here on ESPN 106.3.
ESPN 106.3 is presented by Rubenstein Law. 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Car accident, truck accident, Uber or Lyft accident, or a slip and fall. Call Rubenstein Law. Call 1-800-FL-LEGAL and visit one of our offices throughout Florida.
Good people, it's Theo Dorsey. Spring Training 2025 at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium is approaching pretty quickly. Season tickets, mini plans, and group tickets are now available for the St. Louis Cardinals and Miami Marlins 2025 Spring Training games. Individual tickets go on sale November 19th. Visit our website at RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com or stop on by the ticket office. We can't wait to see you at the ballpark in 2025.
Introducing Questionable Call with Josh Cohen. And it's exclusively on YouTube, where JC is breaking down the most viral clips in sports and entertainment.
Because every day above ground is a good day, some are just more questionable than others.
Subscribe to Questionable Call on YouTube right now. New episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Anything else is out of the question. Presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, Twin Peaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire, and Bud's Chicken and Seafood. Yeah, chicken and seafood.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and the weekend is here. Are you ready to make some money betting the games? We had another great weekend last week, 4-2 with our football selection Saturday, and another 4-1 on Sunday, 9-3 over the weekend, and we are ready to roll into the holiday season. Go to FatJackSports.com. Get signed up today if you're betting on the games. $99 this weekend to make money betting on football. That's $99 to make money betting the games. They're emailed to you on your personal portal at FatJackSports.com.
Hi, it's Luis Fonsi. What makes a performer truly legendary? How about being the #1 bestseller for 47 straight years? That's what Ford F-Series trucks have done every year since 1976. For generations, hard-working South Floridians have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, and families. A legacy of capability and technology. Ford trucks, perfect for South Florida. See your local Ford dealer today.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
HSS Florida presents ESPN West Palm's High School Game Day, supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather. We're headed to the playoffs, where the Atlantic Eagles open up their postseason run. Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Also presented by Kaiser University, Land Rover Palm Beach, Duffy Sports Grill, Shaw Sports Turf, South Florida Ford, Bud's Chicken and Seafood, and the Boca Raton Bowl.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
So I'm going to guess it's not Aaron Rodgers because that would be too easy. But C-Cat, you gave the trivia question on the other side. It's about passing touchdowns through the first 10 games. Give it again.
The fewest passing touchdowns by a quarterback to start each of their team's first game since 2020 goes to who? And it's not Daniel Jones, despite on this list of 6 names being on the list 4 times. Wow. And those were all 4 seasons that he qualified. Didn't qualify in 2023.
It's kind of crazy that, I mean, it's not crazy when you think about how unproductive he's been, but it's crazy that he's been able to keep a job that long. Like, I heard somebody else say it before, but yeah, they were right. I don't know who to credit it to, but we'll never see another tenure like Daniel Jones just because I don't know if anybody lasts that long.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very ironic and weird career with that one spike year with Brian Daboll. Okay. It can't be Aaron Rodgers because he has enough passing touchdowns this year to this point to not be on there, so it's not him. And then I look at
in the past 4 from 2020 on. That's what this list looks like.
Right, and I'm trying to think of who the hell the Steelers quarterback was. But they've won enough games, so it wouldn't be the Steelers either. All right, so it's not Steelers, Panthers. What teams has just been bad? Just bad. Bears, Mitch Trubisky?
Bad with the same quarterback.
Right. Mitch Trubisky had a couple of years there. I just feel like he probably threw enough touchdowns. I'll lean in. I'll lean in and go with, it's not Mac Jones. I'm naming all the bad quarterbacks now. It's not Mac Jones. It's not Ryan Tannehill. I'm going to go with Mitch Trubisky. Damn it.
got a little bit close with it. You disqualified someone who does apply to. The answer, for the fewest passing touchdowns by a quarterback to start each of their team's first games since 2020, it was last season's Kenny Pickett. 6 touchdowns thrown by Kenny Pickett. The rest of the list is Daniel Jones with 8 in this season. Trevor Lawrence with 8 in 2021. And then it's all Daniel Jones from there. 8 touchdowns in 2020. 9 touchdowns for Daniel Jones in 2022. And in 2021, Danny Dimes with 9 touchdowns again.
So in conclusion, hug a Giants fan. They need it. They absolutely need it. Hug a Giants fan. Most miserable fan base right now in football, and then can't think of a worse year in recent memory for any fan base, even the Noles in college football this year. On the other side, Todd Fleming from the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. He pulls up. We play a little Who Missed the Cut, talking some Oklahoma Sooners quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray. Those are just a couple. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. Happy hour on the other side. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or BradleyAir.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com, pbhnphysiciangroup.com, to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
Make poker playing hours work for you at Harris Pompano Beach with the $1 million Break the Bank. It's a no-limit hold'em event that could make you a millionaire. Play at any qualifying table. Rack up 150 hours to qualify for the January 29th Break the Bank tournament. $250,000 in prizes to be awarded, plus win a seat at the World Series of Poker Circuit main event. Finish at number 1 for your shot to win $1 million. Play poker today at Harris Pompano Beach. Open 24 hours, 7 days a week. Powerline Road at 3rd Street, Pompano Beach. Must be 18 or older for poker games. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-MINUTE.
Mark your calendars and gear up for game day. This Sunday, November 17th, join Bud Light and the ESPN West Palm Street Team at Hurricane Alley in Boynton Beach. Catch all your football action with us from 1 to 3 p.m. Showcase your football skills for a chance to win some prizes. Enjoy $2 ice-cold Bud Light drafts and $3 neutrals while you cheer on your favorite teams. Must be 21 or older to participate. Southern Eagle reminds you to please drink responsibly.
Hey golf fans, Colin Russo here. Looking to improve your game? Flagstick Golf Performance, the ultimate indoor golf experience, is now open in Boynton Beach. With 3 indoor simulators and a state-of-the-art putting studio, Flagstick helps players at all levels up their game. Get lessons from experts, try the latest clubs, or just come up for a round on the simulators. You can track your stats and see real improvement. Flagstick is where serious golfers and beginners find their edge. Bring your friends or family and enjoy golf like never before. Visit flagstickgolfperformance.com to book your session.
Your home for the Miami Dolphins in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast is ESPN 106.3.
It's time to put your fins up.
Don't miss a second of the action as Tyreek and company look to conquer the toughest division in football.
You're listening to ESPN West Palm's coverage of the Miami Dolphins.
Home or away, Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. Regular season or postseason, the Miami Dolphins play right here on ESPN 106.3.
Presented by Twin Peaks, South Florida Ford, and PNC Bank.
Tickets are on sale now for the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. South Florida's only PGA Tour event returns to PGA National February 26th through March 2nd. Watch your favorite golfers compete on the Champions Course while enjoying a new on-site experience filled with local bites, craft cocktails, fan activities, and more. Get ready for a week to remember. Secure your tickets now at thecognizantclassic.com.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man, your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. Is this thing on right here? Is it Friday? Is it a football Friday? I think it's a football Friday out here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast and across the globe. I'm Theo Dorsey, kicking it with you again until 4 o'clock. Russo and Rizzo next here on ESPN 106.3. That's C-Cat right there on the other side of the glass. And joining us for happy hour, what's your cocktail of choice? What's your cocktail of choice?
Oh,
you had to
just
pick one.
Just one?
Just one craft cocktail.
I am a straight tequila reposado, Big Rock.
Okay, bet. Big Rock, tequila reposado. That's what we're toasting. That's what we're cheersing with Todd Fleming here, CEO of the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. I love the Terramana. I don't want to give a special shout out to any of the tequilas. None of them, pay for any time or space.
You notice I kept my mouth shut on which brand.
Yeah. But the Terramana gets me right. The Reposado. The one thing though, Todd, I will say, I was a huge Reposado guy. And I was, in my single days, I was Reposado here, there. Me and the boys, we get together, we Reposado. My wife loves Blanco. She can't really do Reposado. She doesn't like the aftertaste.
Yeah.
And now I'm a Blanco man, and it's hard to kind of go back because I'm not used to it. Like when I'm with my boys again, they're like, "Yo, we got the rep." I'm like, "Hold on, guys.
Yeah,
hold on.
Yeah.
It's an adjustment." So you stay with the Reposado. Does your wife?
I stay Reposado. My wife will go back and forth.
Yeah.
But this, what you're describing here, is just plays into the whole narrative of the only thing undefeated in this world. Women.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You made a smart decision. Whatever she does, I do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just go with the flow. And that's why Travis Kelce went and got Taylor Swift on his side. He was like, and they're undefeated. And the Chiefs are undefeated.
Yeah.
Todd, this right here is the time of the year where time moves at an infinite speed. Football ramps up, right? We're about to get the college football playoff stuff settled in. Conference champions around the corner in college football. In the NFL, we're starting to get a clear line of delineation between the contenders, the playoff teams, and the folks that are, competing to get Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, hoping at least.
Or Deion.
Or Deion, too, right? Apparently it's a package deal, which, that's your Cowboys now.
Well,
you know who they're rumoring to do that. There's only one team that would actually make that move.
Yeah.
So
It's Jerry. It's my guy, Jerry.
We'll see if that all comes to be. I'm curious, though, because I was watching Thursday Night Football last night, and, this would have been a huge game for the Commanders. I do think out of all the big NFL games this weekend, and we have so many in Week 11 that matter, that are huge and pivotal, I was thinking Commanders-Eagles, especially if Jaden Daniels and the Commanders found a way to win, that would turn the tide so much in what it means for the NFC East race for the next 10 years, what we consider the Commanders to be this season and whatnot, because you would say, oh, my gosh, so the Cowboys are really the third-place team in this division at best over the next 5 years because Jaden Daniels is just getting started, and the Eagles have been consistently at the top. So I was saying that it could have swayed that way, but the Eagles pull out the win in the end, and it's thanks to a couple of Saquon Barkley touchdowns. And then I instantly had this feeling come over me. I felt bad for Cowboys fans going into Thursday Night Football because I was thinking either way is a loss. You don't want to see either of those teams win. You have a very, pessimistic view of what your future is going to look like.
Right.
I think Giants fans are having the most miserable season I've ever watched a football team have in plain sight. We watched publicly as you lost Saquon Barkley on Hard Knocks, and now we're watching publicly as Barkley is leading the league in rushing yards and helping the Eagles to an 8-2 record, likely an NFC championship berth. this has to suck being a Giants fan.
Well, I think you summed it up perfectly.
Yeah.
And it hurts as a Cowboys fan, but it makes me so happy that the Giants
Yeah.
are worse than us.
There's somebody more miserable.
There's
right
somebody
there.
more miserable. But, I mean, look, I actually take your Jaden Daniels and the Commanders discussion real seriously because even in losses, you can see the glimpses. The coaching change, it has sparked an additional amount of life into him. Jaden Daniels obviously clearly being the top quarterback out of this class. You can see a pathway for that team and those individuals. That's going to become a destination again for players to go to. So, again, even in a loss and Saquon doing his thing, I still see a lot of upside in Washington. But, I mean, with Saquon, why weren't they doing this, giving him the ball more early in the season?
The Eagles?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's one of those, like, it's a game plan thing. They were trying to pass the ball a little bit more. They were pass happy. You do have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, and you got Jalen Hurts, so you probably lean into that at some points. But if you think about all of their pivotal games, they've been won or lost in the hands of Saquon Barkley. It was the Falcons' loss where if Saquon catches that fourth down, you win. So, again, ball in the hands of the most important player right now to the Eagles. He lost them that game, but there's been like 3 or 4 more that they won specifically because of the dominance of Saquon Barkley, probably more than 3 or 4. As a Giants fan, I can't think of any other football fan base, and we're here in South Florida, so we know Seminoles fans, very closely, and they've been suffering at Florida State this year. Gators fans had an up and down time. If you want to take it that far, again, the Miami Dolphins, we had our caller Chris earlier say Dolphins fans are suffering this year, not because of just what's happening with Miami, but they might lose the one true thing that's near and dear to Dolphins fans' hearts that they will never give up if you ask them.
No one else can say it.
The perfect season is on the line right now with the Chiefs. I'm not saying they'll do it, but Dolphins fans are like, damn, we can't win, and they keep winning. Like
for those that are watching live on television, did you see how big his smile got?
Yeah.
He can't even hide it. I know that you root for the local team
Kingdom,
too,
baby.
but Chiefs Kingdom is near and dear to your heart.
Yeah.
They almost lost it a few years ago, right?
Oh yeah, right.
So they've been here before.
Yeah.
They were there back in the 80s with the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
They went through it and got clear of it with the Patriots.
The Panthers had a little bit of they gave them a little bit of a scare.
Panthers gave them a little bit of a scare.
I don't think anybody was scared of the Steelers in that COVID year.
No.
That was a joke from the start.
That's a joke.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
But no, the Chiefs are giving a legit scare, and this weekend they'll have the Bills. The second slate of games, we'll see if they're able to stave off the Bills, because if they do win that one, the path is clear. Yeah. It's just a matter of whether or not the Chiefs are going to go for it or not. But yes, so you hinted at something earlier when we were talking about Eagles Commanders. That's going to lead us into what we're going to discuss here with who missed the cut. You called the number 2 overall pick, Jaden Daniels, to the Commanders, the clear-cut favorite as the best player in this draft out of the quarterbacks. There was a number 1 pick, Todd. Did you not know about that?
Yeah, but we ain't heard anything about him in quite some time. I mean, again, don't want to bang on a young man, right? But
yeah,
I think it's clear who's performing and who's not.
Yeah, Caleb Williams has gotten off to a rough start in this year. Like he's already got his offensive coordinator fired.
Yeah. Well, I go back to the fact again. I'm gonna play a little Homerville a little bit. Was it really Justin Fields or?
Yeah, no.
I mean, we're having a similar type of season here.
And you're saying Homer because again,
I'm a Buckeye,
Ohio State guy from Ohio, and you can. Shane Waldron wasn't there for Justin Fields. It was Luke Getsy. Yeah. Who also got fired this year with the Raiders. So there's clearly a top-down problem with the Bears, and you can't blame the quarterbacks, the signal callers at this point. I don't know what they're going to do with Eberflus at head coach. I do know that organization has a lot of decisions to make over this next back half of the season and off season, and they're going to be pretty pivotal because Caleb Williams was the next man. Like he was getting the Mahomes and Rodgers comps, even the Kyler Murray comps, the good side of Kyler Murray because he's bigger. I just can't see. I thought it was a can't-miss prospect, and you're right.
And he still may be, but for me, when you saw Moore walk off the field, a game or two ago, and just in the middle of a play, I mean, I think it's pretty clear. There's probably, 3 to 5 teams, in my opinion, their pathway next year from a coaching standpoint and player standpoint is probably pretty solid.
Yeah.
The rest of the league's got questions.
I'm curious. And again, Todd Fleming, CEO of the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. He joins us every Friday here to talk about the Cognizant Classic. We'll get to that, but also to play Who Missed the Cut and talk a little ball. We were just discussing the future of the Jets, C-Cat and I. Aaron Rodgers kind of straddled the fence when he was asked if he would be back next year. If you were a Jets fan, would you want future Hall of Famer, 4-time MVP, Super Bowl champion, Aaron Rodgers back as your quarterback next year?
At this point with the Aaron Rodgers, no. I would not. If I'm a Jets fan right now, what has shown me over the 2 years, I mean, again, you take the injury year away from it.
Yeah.
But you have what is going on this year. How can you sign up again for that? You can't. Not at the numbers that you're going to have to pay to keep him.
Right. I would love to know the one Jets fan out there, or maybe there's a bunch that want to see Rodgers be their quarterback next year because you've been worse this year with the better roster around him than you were last year with Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
and crazy.
Exactly. 7 wins last year. 7 wins with historically bad quarterback play. 7 wins last year. Why would you want to delay the inevitable breakdown and rebuild another season? Why would next year be any different than this year? Maybe there's a messiah of a head coach that we can't think of that walks into New York. Maybe it's Ben Johnson from the Lions. Maybe he takes that job.
Why? Why would Ben Johnson?
Why would you leave?
It would have to be a blank check.
I mean, you're either the Super Bowl favorite or second Super Bowl favorite in the NFL right now. Why would you leave that?
And why would you leave that to go coach Aaron Rodgers for one season and then have question marks about who your quarterback will be going forward? I'd take more Jared Goff. Throw 8 picks. I don't give a damn.
Right.
I'd take more Jared Goff than signing up for that. That sounds decrepit. But you said, why would last year be any different from next year? Todd Fleming, you're the CEO of the Cognizant Classic. People are asking you, how is next year going to be any different than last year? The Cognizant Classic, y'all had a huge week this week because tickets were made available to the general public. What was that, Wednesday?
No, yesterday.
Yes.
Thursday.
Oh, all
Thursday.
My days are running together.
We were talking about this. It's been one of those weeks. But, we launched. Total ticket sales are available as of yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Response has been great, not only through transactions, but also through people inquiring through the website to figure out, hey, I like this type of package. I like this type of ticket, but what else do you have?
Yeah.
So pleasantly surprised with how nicely people are responding.
Right. TheCognizantClassic.com. Again, the PGA Tour comes to Palm Beach Gardens February 26th through March 2nd. This is the one stop that the PGA Tour makes. The Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beach is right there at PGA National on the Champions Course. See some of the best play, and you're going to want to be in there. Daily grounds tickets, they're starting at $50 plus tax and fees. Just getting in the door, very affordable for our fans out here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. But also, of course, there's the upgraded, like hospitality suite. People got to do it big in Palm Beach County.
Absolutely. And that's what we're giving it to. The Yellow Flamingo. It's still out there. It's dwindling each day, but there's still some opportunities for the Yellow Flamingo, which again, it gives you the best of the resort, structure on 18, structure on 17, so you get the 2 best holes. And obviously, your high-end beverages and food and beverage experience carries along with you. So there's still those opportunities as well.
And we just passed up Veterans Day. I apologize to those who served, including my pops and my grandpa. I didn't acknowledge it on Monday. I feel bad. So I do want to shout out the veterans and anybody in the military. Y'all are doing a military appreciation wing of this as well. Local service members will have a chance to be able to reserve 2 complimentary ground tickets per day. Per day, Todd. This is a big, this is great.
Well, I mean, you said it. Yeah. I mean, it's a memorable week, obviously, for what happened on Monday and the veterans that obviously give us our freedoms and the lifestyle that we are fortunate to have. So it's these are little things that we can do that make a significant impact, and we're going to try to do more of them. We've got the Hometown Heroes that's out there. We're going to unveil our military ticketing program here in December. So, it's near and dear to my heart. My dad was a serviceman as well in the Navy, and so, for us to continue a tradition here of honoring them, it means a lot to me. So I'm glad that we could do that.
Yeah, I was going to say, my dad's coming down for the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beach. He got free tickets for serving, and he's currently in the Air Force. So, hey, that made his trip a little bit easier.
That makes it much easier, and that puts a big smile on my face.
Yes. Yeah. So for those who are in the military or served, and for those who just want to know about tickets, again, thecognizantclassic.com/tickets or just thecognizantclassic.com. Check it out right now. Again, late February. Again, if you keep waiting, you can keep waiting if you want to. I'm telling you right now, everybody and their mama, they friends, they sisters, they cousins, everybody's going to be at the Cognizant Classic. So you might want to get ahead of the game and get you some tickets. C-Cat and I will be there as well, and Todd.
You're the greatest hype man, and you're speaking facts. I mean, we're 100 days out from tournament week as we sit here today, 101 to be exact, but it's not out. It's here. So we need to act, or you're not going to have the opportunity or the things that you want. So if you have an interest, give us a look. We appreciate the support, but buy now.
Buy now, and also the time is now. We alluded to it. Caleb Williams is involved. Baker Mayfield involved. We're talking Oklahoma quarterbacks. Who missed the cut?
Oh, my goodness. This is not good. It's beyond hard to watch.
4 will enter. 3 will survive. It's time for Who Missed the Cut? Presented by the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches, February 27th through March 2nd.
Who Missed the Cut? Presented by the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches, and this one is it's also close to my father's heart. He is a Oklahoma Sooner fan.
Ooh.
Boomer Sooner. And we're doing Oklahoma quarterbacks currently in the league. Sorry, Spencer Rattler, you didn't even make it to the chopping board. Sorry, Spence. Caleb Williams got rid of you at that time, and now we're getting rid of you early as well.
I fought for this one, Todd.
Yeah.
We were chopping it up about topics for today, and I fought for this one hard.
Yeah.
C-Cat, I think this is one of the most interesting topics that we've discussed of the 4. I also think, in my mind, it's the easiest.
I think so. I think it is too. No. So we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't know that? You didn't know who we said is easy?
There's only one person that would be easy out of this bunch. But maybe we'll see something different. Who missed the cut? Oklahoma Sooner quarterbacks: Baker Mayfield, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, and Caleb Williams. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Caleb Williams. Who missed the cut? Only 3 can make it into the weekend. 1 quarterback has to go. We're not talking about their play as Sooners. We're talking about them as NFL quarterbacks. Whose turn is it to give the first immunity? C-Cat?
C-Cat.
First immunity is on you, and you can't.
No, you know what? I'll fight that battle in about 5 to 10 minutes because I've got a guy here, and I've got stats to prove it. All right? It's not the eye test anymore. We got cold, hard
You hear the tone?
Yeah.
You hear the tone?
Yeah.
He's ready to go.
I can't believe this dude.
All right, first guy I'm going to save. Only one of these guys has made it to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
One of these guys broke records when he signed his record contract in the city of brotherly love. I'm going with Jalen Hurts. Coming off a big win last night. His city does not wrap their arms around him as a quarterback as much as they probably should. Listen, he's set up for success, and he's doing not much more than you can ask of him. He is succeeding. In his tenure there with Philadelphia, it's gone swimmingly so far. A lot of organizations would trade places with the Eagles right now and Jalen Hurts. I'll save Jalen Hurts.
He also played through a concussion, it seemed like, last night, too, for that win. So
don't bring up that word here in this region.
I know. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, afterwards, we'll listen to the Scott Van Pelt interview later on. As he was talking to him, I said, yeah, that's a concussed brother right there. They need to bring him back to the medical tent. Todd, you cool with him saving Jalen Hurts?
I will co-sign it because I tend to agree. I can deal with some very bad passes from time to time to wide open receivers because the record proves you're winning. You're winning with that quarterback in that system. So I co-sign that.
Just look at the past 5 games right here. I'm talking just rushing touchdowns. Against the Giants, 2 rushing touchdowns. Bengals, 3 rushing touchdowns. Jaguars, 1. Cowboys, 2. Commanders, 1. That's like, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rushing touchdowns in the past 5 games to go along with the passing. Jalen Hurts is dominant. He's safe. All right, so then there goes Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams, and Baker Mayfield. Only 1 is going to be cut. 2 will be saved. One of them stands out of these 3, and I think would it be Kyler Murray? He's the guy on the second contract with his first team.
I don't know. I think maybe a quarterback who's 5th in passing yards from 2023 on, past 2 seasons and 27 games. There's only one name who's in the top 5, and it happens to be Baker Mayfield. That's one of the names I'm just kicking out there out of 3.
Let's put this out there. We saved the one dude who not only was the only one that was a second-round draft pick, but these other three brothers are number 1 overall picks.
Yeah, and Heisman Trophy winners.
Wow. I didn't think about that.
I mean, think about it. So I when I was thinking about this on the drive in here, and as I was sitting outside, Kyler Murray to me right now feels like, again, if we're going back to some of the other things that we've always talked about, he's pretty spectacular to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, you know, he's a jitterbug out there. He's running around. You never know what's going to happen. He can extend a play, and they're winning. If you look at what's going on over the last several weeks, there's a winning record that's starting to be produced. And the camaraderie with him and Harrison, the running game starting to get going. They're winning some tough games by 1 here and there. So I tend to say, out of the 3 remaining guys left, Kyler right now probably should be the one that I would throw my hat in.
I would lean. So he's obviously going with Baker Mayfield.
Listen,
he still can.
I'll kick the can down the road.
Okay.
I'll back up on the cliff where I'm fighting off 3 different guys with 1 sword, and I'll kick that down the road. We'll do the Kyler versus Caleb debate right now. How about that?
Kyler versus Caleb. If you were to start a franchise right now, who would you feel more comfortable going with Kyler Murray and Caleb Williams? Take contracts out of it. I know Kyler's on his 2nd deal already. Just on ability, age, and what you project them out to be, would you rather have Kyler Murray or Caleb Williams? I would still argue I probably would take Caleb, though.
Ooh, I'm going a different way.
Yeah?
I mean, mainly for the mere fact, again, I may be showing my age. I know what I'm getting with Kyler, and he still is relatively young.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I put the pieces around him and put him in a position offensively where he can make the right decisions consistently and use his legs to extend plays, I don't know what I'm getting with Caleb. What are we at? We have 9-game experience with him, right? So I don't know what I'm going to get long-term with him. I know what I'm getting with Kyler Murray.
We have never seen a quarterback succeed with the Chicago Bears. We never have.
No, ever.
And specifically under Shane Waldron, under Luke Getsy, under Matt Eberflus, there's been no model of consistency or modicum of success. So it's hard to judge Caleb Williams on these 9 games. Kyler Murray, you're right. Between Baker, Caleb, and Kyler, he should be saved right here.
One thing is, though, none of these quarterbacks, an organization had to make them sign the dotted line that said that they would study a minimum amount of film. And the Cardinals had to do that with Kyler Murray.
Yes, they did. I agree that looks bad. But the Browns let Baker go. That to me is worse than retaining a quarterback with a clause, is them saying, hey, we're good.
Yeah, the sound decision makers over there in Cleveland, Ohio. You're right.
Well, by the way, they may be regretting that decision right now, right? I mean, with what he's done, that's why I think this conversation comes down to Baker and Caleb.
It does. Okay, so Kyler's safe. Kyler's good.
All right.
He got a franchise to re-up with him at I think, what, 45, 48 million a year? He's good.
He got that franchise to buy into him twice.
Yeah.
They had a first-round pick quarterback, and they kicked him out of the building immediately. That's how sold they were on Kyler. And then they fell back in love. They renewed their vows.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's true.
And they signed for a
That's
long-term
a perfect
deal.
way to put it.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Kyler's safe, and Jalen Hurts are safe. That leaves us Caleb Williams and Baker Mayfield, 2 former number 1 overall picks, 2 quarterbacks that, I mean, sometimes they rub people the wrong way. The hive for them, the people that root for them go through and through. I know people that are Baker stands. What do they call Baker Bros?
Yeah.
That's what the 4 to 6 show calls them, Russo and Rizzo. They consider
Baker
themselves
Bros?
Baker Bros.
Yeah. We had, didn't Stone have like a Baker Mayfield candle?
Yes.
Stone Labanowitz, who used to work here, Baker Mayfield candle he would light up.
Wow.
There's people
on
that
Sundays or every day?
He had it at the office.
Oh my gosh. Let's check it. Let's check his mental state real quick.
Yes. It was a very volatile candle. Like Baker Mayfield's play.
So all right. So make the case for Baker.
So I'll make the case for Baker, and I made this case yesterday. A bird in the hand is worth more than 2 in a bush.
Okay.
With Caleb Williams, we are giving him the benefit of the doubt because he is a highly touted prospect, and we're saying, you know what? Like Theo Dorsey just said, we can't judge a quarterback based on how they look with the Bears because no one has looked good with the Bears. And we kind of thought about that. Wait a second. Well, Baker Mayfield, we did this experiment. he looked pretty good with the Browns, and then he got hurt and looked a little bit worse with the Browns. Who has succeeded with the Browns? Not many. Then he went to a couple of other stops. Carolina. Who has looked good with Carolina?
Cam Newton.
That's
Who
it.
has looked good with this version of Carolina? Not many quarterbacks have looked good in Carolina. Got an opportunity with the Rams, made the most of that opportunity, and now we're seeing the full potential of Baker Mayfield in front of us. Maybe Caleb Williams, if the changing the guard in Chicago goes well, or even if maybe 3 years down the road he's somewhere else, maybe he does live up to that prospect. But we've seen Baker do that already. Baker Mayfield is the bird in the hand.
Yeah, but the bird in the hand, where is it going to get you to?
The bird in the hand has these wings that expand.
Yeah.
It's like a hawk, actually. You're holding a hawk.
But one of his wings are injured. One of his wings are a little faulty, and sometimes he just like flies in circles. You're like, well, I want to go straight, and he goes in circles. That's Baker Mayfield experience.
Baker Mayfield was a bird. He was a duck in the BP oil spill, and they dusted him off with Dawn dish soap. And now all of a sudden, he is just flying high.
His only good seasons. This guy's an idiot. You see what I have to deal with every daytime?
Oh, this is fascinating. I'm loving it.
So when he had Kevin Stefanski or Sean McVay or Liam Cohen or Dave Canales, that's when he's good. When he has really, really good offensive play callers, that's when you get good Baker. And Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and stuff.
Hey, you do seem stiff arm.
That may have been one of the best plays in a long time.
Like an 8-yard stiff arm for one of the best defensive players in the NFL to throw that fourth down completion.
Yeah.
Nasty.
All right, so then make the case for Caleb.
Okay.
Because I'm still up in the air here.
Here's what I'll say about Caleb Williams, though. Like, when it comes to tools, I don't think any of us would agree. I think all of us would agree Caleb Williams has all of the more tools than Baker Mayfield, right?
Right now.
Bigger arm.
Oh, you're saying as a quarterback, not as the players on his team.
No, yeah. Well, forget the players on the team. I mean, like as a quarterback,
like a skill
what
set.
he has in his toolbox.
Yeah, in his toolbox, he's got a lot of tricks.
He can make more plays than what Baker can. I think that the problem with Caleb Williams is, number one, he holds the ball too long. And number two, it feels like that offense was disjointed in the first place, so he's never really gotten a good hold on it. I prefer the two in the bush when I believe that those two in the bush have been untapped. Their talent have been untapped because of poor offensive line play, a offensive coordinator that has been criticized by literally everybody since before he got the Bears job. Like Shane Waldron was getting talked crap about by former Seahawks. Current Bears, have you heard the way that Keenan Allen and DJ Moore have talked about him? They said he was ill-prepared. He wasn't making adjustments in a timely way. He wasn't professional. I just feel like if I get me a Liam Cohen with the Buccaneers, if I get me a coordinator that can push some easy buttons, I would get more out of Caleb Williams than I can out of Baker Mayfield. So I think knowing what I get out of Baker Mayfield to me is what hurts his resume, whereas I take the potential of Caleb Williams over him right now.
No,
Todd. It's in your court.
I understand potential, and I think that's a very valid argument, even though I'm coming full circle to something I said earlier. But let me interject something. Locker room. All former athletes in this room. The locker room matters.
Yeah.
The locker room matters. That plays a factor into whether or not we're going to step out on that field together and are we connected. And if you look at where Baker has gone, for all commentary coming out of it, the locker room loves him.
Yeah.
They don't like to see him go.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Outside of OBJ.
OBJ,
That's just because he couldn't get him the ball.
They couldn't get him the ball.
So I will agree with you on this. It feels like Caleb Williams has already lost his locker room through 9 games.
Which is not great when you're the young prodigy.
I think that kind of does it. I can't fight this battle anymore for him. If he can't, here's my thing. I still stick with Caleb Williams, but if you can't win over your own locker room, if you got veterans going and calling for Tyson Bagent to start over you, then yeah, at this point in 2024, November
15th, 2024, I think we've got to go with Baker because of all of that. But again, we'd say this every week. It's not bad to be fourth on this week, potentially when you have potential and you're only 9 games into your career.
Exactly. So at this juncture, sorry, Caleb, but Caleb Williams, you missed the cut.
My goodness. This is not good.
It's beyond hard to watch.
At some point, you have to take the results into consideration. I'm sorry. Like Baker Mayfield, he loses Mike Evans. He loses Chris Godwin. That team is still fighting hard for him, playing hard for him. He's in the game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Who did the Buccaneers just barely lose to last week?
The Niners.
The Niners, yeah.
The defending Super Bowl champion.
So he plays the two teams that were in the Super Bowl last year and fights and is confident and is competitive. I have to play some of the results, and I do think that the renaissance of Baker Mayfield is a good thing for him, good thing for football fans, and it has to be credited. Whereas for Caleb Williams, TBD.
Let's see what happens.
TBD.
How about theoretically speaking, not judging someone on their age? The oldest guy in the bunch still made it.
He made it. And it's because of what
Baker's
he's been
the
able
oldest?
to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
At what? At 29?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. A miracle he can still walk.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh, that was fun. That was good.
That was great.
Fun. I did not think I was going to let y'all ride with the Baker Mayfield thing, but I ran out of talking points for Caleb.
That's 2 weeks in a row he let us get it slide it through. So thank you.
I ran out of ammo. Like, Caleb, bro, like, be Superman then.
Yeah.
Or lose, like you've been doing in the NFL as of late. That's Todd Fleming. That is C-Cat. This is the happy hour on Theoretically Speaking. We got Tina coming in on the other side, and I do still regret going with Baker Mayfield over Caleb Williams. I have a sour taste in my mouth about that. We'll continue the happy hour here on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3. Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to helping the customers and the communities they serve move forward financially. See how they can make a difference for you at PNC.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. As you have likely seen and heard, law firm advertising is at an all-time high. Attorney ads seem to be part of every radio and TV commercial segment. Some firms are even using paid actors and actresses to speak for them. At Smith Ball Baez and Prather, we know that the decision to hire a law firm should never be based on advertisements alone. It is our past results and many positive 5-star reviews that we encourage you to read at smithball.com to learn more about our law firm. We have board-certified lawyers. We have lawyers listed in the best lawyers in America and in super lawyers. But most importantly, we have experienced lawyers located right here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast that are ready to be your advocate and your voice, and fully prepared to start fighting for your legal rights today. Our purpose, legal power. Our mission, huge results. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
It's your boy JC, and it is football season, and nobody loves it more than me. And nobody loves Twin Peaks more than me. Eats, drinks, scenic views, 29-degree beer, happy hour daily made from scratch favorites, and always your UFC fight headquarters. You can watch any and every single football game happening in Ultra 4K HD from your Twin Peaks locations. You can watch any and every UFC fight, pay-per-view or otherwise, and never pay a cover. That's right, UFC fight headquarters, it's always Twin Peaks.
Hey, my name is Colin Russo, and this is your Miami Dolphins Minute. Well, the Miami Dolphins, after losing 3 straight, are back in the win column after a hard-fought victory over the Los Angeles Rams last night in Los Angeles by a score of 23-15. It was mostly a battle of the field goals between both teams, but it was converting touchdowns in the red zone as the difference maker for the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa finished the game 20 of 28 for a touchdown, a pick, and a lost fumble. But on the bright side of things, the Dolphins now sit at 3-6 and are in second place of a lopsided AFC East. The Finns have a pretty easy schedule the rest of the way. They roll on back home next week and take on the struggling Las Vegas Raiders on Sunday at Hard Rock, 1 p.m. kick. That was your Miami Dolphins Minute, presented by Hard Rock Bet, Florida's official sportsbook. For the first time ever in Florida, bet on the Dolphins all season long. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if that first bet does not win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Lease the new 2024 Range Rover Evoque 250S today at Land Rover Palm Beach for only $499 per month with a 42-month lease and only $47.50 down, plus fees and first month's payment. Head over to Land Rover Palm Beach today, located on Okeechobee Boulevard just past the Turnpike, or visit LandRoverPalmBeach.com to set up a test drive of the new 2024 Range Rover Evoque 250S. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
It's the Good Greek Spiro. For the best move ever, go to goodgreek.com.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
Huddle up at Hurricane Grill and Wings, where every day is game day. From our famous wings to our refreshing new cocktails, we're serving up the flavors you crave. And score big with our happy hour deals. It's the perfect spot to catch all the football action while enjoying your food faves, cocktails, and beer. Don't miss out. Grab your friends and family and swing by Hurricane Grill and Wings to see what everyone's cheering about. Visit hurricanewings.com to find the restaurant nearest you.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
That's right, I'm in it on a Friday, a football Friday, happy hour of Theoretically Speaking. C-Cat on the other side of the glass. Todd Fleming just left us, CEO of the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. I'm a little ticked off. He made me pick Baker Mayfield over Caleb Williams. And Tina's in for the happy hour. What's happening, Tina?
Happy Friday. I heard you guys talking about some tequila.
Yeah.
Some reposado.
Are you reposado or blanco if you had to pick
reposado?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I like reposado.
Now, if you're doing shot, like,
or
can
mezcal.
you do blanco shot? Mezcal's the best.
Oh, mezcal.
Mezcal's actually number one, and it's a very thick margin between mezcal and then reposado or blanco to me. If you had to ask me my opinion.
Yeah,
mezcal is superior.
Theo, you lied on these airwaves like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, what did I
when
say?
Speaking with Evan Cohen, I don't know if you're showing off for him. Not a big drinker, that guy.
Yeah.
And you were saying, don't you hate when someone in the group is kind of peer pressuring everyone else to get drunk with me or drink with me, take the shot, take the shot. Theo
I'm not that
is
guy.
hey, take the shot. We're all taking shots. You take the shot.
I'm that guy?
Yes, you are. Because I don't do shots. But when I went to Theo's house, the one time I went to his house, I was taking shots.
You make me sound like
So honestly,
predatory,
like bad boy. You make me sound like.
It depends on like what you're doing. Like I'm not usually ever suggesting shots. I do like tequila shots though, and I go blanco with tequila shots.
Okay. Chilled, or you can do it either way.
Either
chilled
way, but usually I'd rather chilled.
Yeah.
But like sometimes though, like you just need like a shot to like get the day going, get the night going, like a little pick me up, like let's go.
And you don't. It's the opposite. That's when it tastes the worst.
It doesn't though. Like I like tequila that much.
Yeah, bro.
That it's smooth and it's easy.
I'm not gonna have you defame my name here, C-Cat. So here's what happens, Tina. And you haven't been to the Dorsey abode yet, the Bali bungalow. You haven't. Here's how it works for people that are curious. They say Mother Nature, she can interfere with your plans. Father Time is undefeated. And I don't have any control over when it's shot o'clock. Right? So
garbage.
Huh?
That's garbage.
That's not garbage. I legit don't have any control over when it's shot o'clock. So when the clock ticks and boom, it's shot o'clock, shots for everybody in my house. Most people are happy about it. Most people are like, yay, let's have a good time. It's a party. It's fun. And C-Cat's the Debbie Downer about it. So that's what happened, Tina, in case you were curious.
Pina colada o'clock. I'd be in. I said pina colada.
Pina colada. Okay. If you like pina coladas, you can kick it with C-Cat. If you like shot o'clock, you pull up to the Dorsey abode. It comes pretty fast. It happens a lot. Sometimes quicker than even it takes for an hour to go by.
Some weeknights. It's really weird.
I don't mind.
It's a Wednesday at 6.
Does not matter what day it is. I am all about it.
Yeah, just when I have no control over the clock. Father Time, undefeated. Is joint pain affecting your quality of life? I'm curious. Is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery, as well as new, less invasive treatments with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more if you want some more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. I just did that embarrassing thing where you're trying to read something and you have to point your finger to the line and go along with it. Did y'all see me do that?
No, I didn't.
I hope nobody on the YouTube stream saw me do it as well.
You ever get bullied reading aloud, doing popcorn reading in like grade school?
Yeah. I told you what I used to do instead of, I would just do the real big narrator voice. And then when I tripped up, people would think it was because of that. And then they would still just chuckle and laugh. So it worked out.
I absolutely hated that. And I would read 5 words and then popcorn at someone. I hated that.
You're not allowed to do that.
Well, I did.
You ever have to popcorn read and you say a curse word in the class? Oh.
I hope it wasn't Huckleberry Finn you were reading.
No, it wasn't that. No. For some reason, my teacher thought the word pantyhose was like, bad word.
Oh, yeah?
For some reason, she like got mad or she got uncomfortable when she had to say that word. I forget what book it was. I didn't really read much. It was a Spark Notes kid growing up. But yeah, and it would always make the class cackle because of all the words to stumble on because of its a little inappropriate nature. Pantyhose was not one of them.
I feel like it's because the panty.
Or the second part of it. I don't. It's not. Neither one is bad. It's just like it's an undergarment.
Yeah.
It's a piece.
Nothing bad about it.
Piece of clothing.
I used to dominate popcorn reading. I'd read a little bit more than I should have, but that's because I was a great public reader.
That's corny, C-Cat.
I made others feel inferior in the classroom. In 4th grade especially. Whoo.
That was your year? That was your prime of popcorn reading?
That separated the boys from the older boys in 4th grade. And I was one of the older boys when it came to popcorn reading.
Jeez Louise. The things you hang your hat on.
They should separate the class. I know they eventually do into those smaller classrooms when you can't read that well and you get extra classes in speech help.
Are you an elitist when it comes to reading?
Yes, because you're making us all struggle. If you are having trouble in your head with reading, you should not have imparting that on everyone else who can do it just fine.
It is super awkward when you're doing the popcorn reading stuff. And then people, because I don't like to be discouraging in those moments. I know some people took it upon themselves to be class clowns or maybe like you superior and make fun of them and say, look how much I can read and you can't. It's a little awkward.
An entire paragraph over there.
It's a little awkward.
You think it was just one paragraph? Went page 13 through 15.
Oh, see, I appreciated you then because then it was less likely that I was going to be popcorn because you were reading so much.
Yeah.
Can you like popcorn a workout at F45? You go there all the time, but like if you get tired, can you tag somebody in and be like, "Yo, come on, I don't want to do these burpees."
If you go there when I'm there, I'm not gonna allow you to popcorn anything.
Well, next time I pull up, I'm gonna popcorn the ones I don't want to do. Anything like the squats and stuff, I don't want to be not able to walk the next day.
I see those resistant machines where they're like dragging something high and bringing it low to their toes.
Oh yeah, I love those.
The skiers.
Sure.
Like a rope pull?
Yes, they're called skiers.
Skiers, okay.
They're great. That's like a full body workout right there.
I love those.
You use your arms, your legs, everything.
Hit the tris.
Yes, you get everything.
I'm skipping the skiers if I'm there.
No way. I'm popcorn you guys to the skiers and to the burpees.
I hate burpees.
F45, you'll learn to love them there. You do them quite often. That's my spot. I was there this morning, bright and early, had a full strength day. There's cardio classes, there's strength classes, there's hybrid where you get a little bit of both. They've got a schedule for you to go in the morning if it's early like me at 5:15 or maybe in the afternoon at noon or even like a 4, 5, 6 o'clock class. They've got it to where it can work out for your schedule. F45 Palm Beach Gardens, F45 West Palm Beach. If you stick with it, you will see results. There are people there to motivate you so you won't popcorn your workouts.
Oh,
they're gonna make you want to keep going and not stop because you're gonna see the person next to you just like pumping it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I can't stop. They're not stopping.
Are you like the C-Cat of working out where he's doing the stuff with the reading? You're like, well, watch me do more. Or like watch me do more workouts and you're going to be doing less. Are you intimidating people?
There's definitely some members in my class that like they motivate me. I'm like, well, I'm not stopping if she's not stopping yet.
Right.
Oh, we have to like do box jumps, and I'll see some like women do box jumps and make the box higher. I'm like, well, I gotta go high now.
Say
like
less.
I gotta get the higher box.
You
and
ever
jump
hurt
higher.
yourself doing that?
I have definitely ate the box a few times.
Oh, there's a name for it.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, is that what they say? That's what they say at F45?
That's right now what they say. That's what
F45?
I said. I've face planted that box a few times.
It's, busted up shins. That's
There's
the
a
worst.
cover on it so you don't do that. F45 is safe.
Oh, okay.
F45 West Palm Beach, F45 Palm Beach Gardens. Don't let Theo and CCAT discourage you from going.
I'm not.
First class is free. Try it out. See why I'm so obsessed with it. F45 West Palm Beach, F45 Palm Beach Gardens. Check out their social platforms to see the specials that they've got going on.
I love F45 too. I will say I'm sorry for.
What did I say wrong?
You didn't say anything wrong.
You said nothing wrong.
You said nothing wrong.
Say something funny?
You didn't say anything funny. What you did was you alluded to what was coming next, and that is the last call.
Oh, okay.
That is the last call here on the Happy Hour. Tina, I want you to get us out of here on a high note. You left me with some chuckles. I'm definitely going to be playing back that hour.
What did I do?
You did nothing. You did nothing but get us into the last call, which will be super, right? Because you have a last call today.
I have a last call.
Yes.
And I got help today.
By who? Did you get help from here's one thing. I've never heard CCAT laugh as much as the meeting we just had with our CEO in. I got a bone to pick with you, CCAT. He gave him like 20 chuckles and laughs after every single joke and statement. This dude here. Was I not supposed to say anything about that?
No, I don't know.
You look so startled.
No.
You make fun of people that do the media laugh. You were doing it today with the CEO in town.
I didn't even notice.
Oh, dude.
That's embarrassing. Really?
You were laughing at everything.
Because we were picking on you.
No, not even with just me. It was every other sentence that our CEO, Craig Carmenson, great dude, not that funny. Like, he's funny. He's got some funny moments. Not as funny as CCAT was making him out to be today in the meeting.
We're going to clip that. Great dude. Not that funny.
No. Hey, Craig. Craig's hilarious. Guy's great.
Well,
what's the last call?
My last call today, I got help from Colin Russo.
Okay.
And it's going to be a fill in the blank. And it's 4 words that you will have to fill in.
Is this from the 30s? Is this from the 1930s? I know Colin Russo loves that decade.
I have no idea.
Okay.
He had this remembered.
Early 1900 baseball quote.
He who says he can and he who says he can't
are right. Are both correct.
Good job, Theo.
Thank you.
Are both usually right.
Wow. People are really celebrating me right now. Thank you. Great last call, Tina. Love that. On the other side, we kick it in the happy hour some more. That's CCAT. That's Tina. I'm Theo Dorsey with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
This Thanksgiving, don't let extra pounds steal your joy. At HexisMD.com, enjoy the feast without fear of calories sticking around. They offer semaglutide and trizepatide. No insurance needed. Picture yourself feeling lighter and more energized. Give yourself the gift of confidence and health this holiday season with HexisMD. Join thousands already transforming their lives. Visit HexisMD.com today. That's HEXISMD.com. Your partner in a healthier, happier you. Use discount code ESPN50 for 50% off your first order.
Tickets are on sale now for the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. South Florida's only PGA Tour event returns to PGA National February 26th through March 2nd. Watch your favorite golfers compete on the Champions Course while enjoying a new on-site experience filled with local bites, craft cocktails, fan activities, and more. Get ready for a week to remember. Secure your tickets now at thecognizantclassic.com.
ESPN 106.3 is presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
They can help you if you're in an accident, but your fantasy football team, not so much.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
You know what website you really need? Maybe you bookmark this one. Maybe you just write it down, type it in later when you get a chance. EDSIsYes.com. EDSIsYes.com. It rhymes and it's also true. EDS is yes. They're your trusted AC experts in Palm Beach County. Right? It's not just me saying that. They have over 760 reviews on Google and they have a 4.8 star. Right? Like that's a lot of people saying the same thing. They're saying EDS is yes. Again, EDSIsYes.com. They've been keeping you cool since 2006 for all your AC and your plumbing needs. EDSIsYes.com. 24/7 support. Timely service. You can book it online. Remember the website, EDSIsYes.com. I've been with EDS for some time now. I've been a Gold Plan member for over a year. Just got my air conditioning unit flipped. I'm going to be getting my next servicing very soon to make sure everything is good with my air conditioning unit. You should do the same, EDSIsYes.com. Speaking of EDS, we always like to celebrate a moment that is flashy, that is impactful. Oh, or another word for that is a moment that's cool.
Time now for the coolest moment of the week. Presented by EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. EDS is yes.
Dan Campbell, Sunday Night Football. The Lions need to come back. Interview on the middle of the Sunday Night Football broadcast and take a listen to what happened.
We have one error here or there. If we cut that out, we'll be fine. And then we got to have takeaways. Our defense has to get a couple of takeaways. We're not going to get it all at one chunk here. So just one at a time. Right. We'll do that. We'll play this out till we get 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter before we turn on. But we'll do it.
Al Michaels, why are you laughing?
He said it. They had to get takeaways, and they do right out of the gate. The most valuable coach's interview ever.
That courtesy of NBC. Al Michaels on the call. Again, coach of the Lions, Dan Campbell.
It's not
2017. Wow, Al Michaels. Wow, I'm the real throwback. Mike Tirico. And yes, as he called for takeaways live on TV, you get an interception of C.J. Stroud, leading them to a second-half comeback where the Lions win a game that they threw 5 interceptions in. Amazing. That's the EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing coolest moment of the week. EDSIsYes.com. C-Cat, that was amazing to watch. Like, who said we don't need in-game interviews?
Me. I said that.
Well, you were wrong. Go in love. Go in peace. Go enjoy.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality